Hi guys, my name is Raza and this is my course about alignment. So I've broken this topic down into 4 different videos. In the first video, we're going to talk about the basics of alignment. In the second video, we're going to talk about measured or mathematical and optical sizing. In the third one, I'm going to show you how different shapes can be aligned. And in the last video, I'm going to cover the alignment of letter forms. So without further ado, let's start with the basics of alignment. So the first question that comes to anyone's mind is, what exactly is alignment? So alignment is one of the graphic design principles that is about organizing visual elements relative to a line or margin, which is usually imaginary. So these visual elements could be anything, whether we are talking about text, images, or shapes. Before we move any further, let's see why alignment is important. The first one is it creates order in a design. The second one is it creates a visual connection between items. If we take an example of a business card, it has your name and designation. So in order to tell the reader that the name and designation are related, you need to align them. Obviously, there may be more design principles that may be applied over there, but alignment is one of the most important ones. And lastly, it improves readability. So if we talk about the principles of alignment, there are two. One is vertical and the other one is horizontal. So vertical alignment is when the top, center, or bottom of elements align on an invisible horizontal line. So let's see that visually in the next slide. There are 3 types of vertical alignments: top, center, or bottom. So if we consider this white box to be our visual element, in the first scenario, its top edge is aligned with that horizontal imaginary line. In the second example, it's vertically centered, and in the third scenario, the shape's bottom edge is aligned with the horizontal line. Then comes horizontal alignment. So it happens when the left side, center, or right side of elements align on an invisible vertical line. So we have 4 types of horizontal alignments: flush left, center, flush right, and justified. In flush left, the text is aligned from its left edge and its right side is ragged. For the center alignment, the left and right both sides are ragged. In flush right, the right side is aligned but the left side is ragged. So we'll say that this is flush right and left ragged. In case of justified, both left and right sides are aligned. Finally, we're going to look at something called edge alignment. So edge alignment occurs when we create vertical or horizontal alignment from one or more corners. So we have already seen this in horizontal and vertical alignment, but this time without the center alignment. So if we start from the left side, so the left edge of the box is aligned to the left. In the second example, the right edge is aligned to the right. Then the top edge is aligned, and similarly the bottom. In all of the scenarios, the edges of this box are being aligned. Now that we are done with the basics, let's see some examples. So in the first example, you can see that the text over here is justified. So both its left and right sides are aligned. In this example, the text is aligned to the left. Not only that, but if we consider this part as a separate box and this Albert Einstein as a separate box, these two are aligned to the left as well. Similarly, all of these texts are left aligned. And once again, there are no limitations of the visual elements that you can use. So in this case, we are using an image, which is aligned with the rest of the text. This is an interesting example. You can already see that this is left aligned, right ragged, left aligned, right ragged, left aligned, right ragged, and so on and so forth. If we consider this as a separate box and this watch as a separate box, then you can clearly see that both of them are vertically aligned center. So this is very important, that all of the elements in their entirety should have some kind of an alignment relative to each other. This is an interesting example where the text is flush right and left ragged, and the text is being aligned with the image on the right. In this example, There are 3 images as a carousel, and quite interestingly, these 3 are also vertically aligned center. The text is left aligned and right ragged. The project's heading is left aligned with this image. In this packaging example, everything is aligned centrally. This is an excellent example of how alignment can be done in a newspaper. So this element is flush left and right ragged. Then there is an element in the center which is the horizontal center of the page. And then there is another element to the right which is again left aligned. The bottom elements are again flush left and right ragged. Same is true for these two. So this image is at the center of this layout where it's spanning from left to right. If we look back at the first and second rows, they both are divided into 3 columns. But in the last row where this image resides, it's taking all of the 3 columns. And since this thirst heading is so bold, this is forcing the layout to be viewed as a centered layout. If we look at the overall piece, you'll be able to see that because of these horizontal lines, this layout is overall justified. So this is how you play with the principles of alignment. And of course, there are a number of examples on the internet that you can look up to learn more about it. It's all about practice, to be honest. So you need to first look at a lot of good examples where alignment is being used properly so that you could build your own visual vocabulary. And once that is done, you can simultaneously start practicing alignment. So this is all I wanted to share when it comes to the basics of alignment. In the next lesson, we're going to talk about mathematical and optical sizing. So I'll see you soon. But until then, if you like this video and learned something from it, please like and share. And if you have some comments or questions, please feel free to comment in the comment section. Thanks for watching.